Before we get started today, I wanted to invite you to support the podcast by liking, sharing, and leaving a review. I also really want to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment or a topic you'd like for us to cover, please send it my way. I'm all ears. Your input really helps to shape the show, so please sound off in the comments, or if you'd like to reach me directly, I will leave my email address in the show notes. Do not hesitate to get in touch. I am your host, Chelsea Carolyn, and today we are diving into sustainable fitness with Evelyn Harper. Okay, so we touched on your 5 elements of becoming sustainably fit. Now, could we dive into the nutrition side of things?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. So, how do we approach nutrition, changes to our nutrition and our diet in a way that's sustainable? I'm going to assume that you're not someone who has fallen into the diet culture trap.
No, exactly. And for anything, I'm just gonna rotate this a little
Sure.
bit. So I had a grandfather who had this philosophy that was keep it simple, stupid. And
Yes.
yeah, and that has always kind of stuck with, or actually, no, it hasn't always stuck with me, because I feel like I had always had this complex, like I do, and I think everyone does, have this like very complex mind where their mind's going 100 miles an hour, kind of reading into everything. What's the best way? And it just became too much. So in taking that philosophy into all areas of my life, but specifically nutrition, it does come back to keep it simple, stupid type of philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
So whole foods. So if I had to talk to someone who knew nothing about nutrition but walked into the grocery store, I would say focus on this section, which would be the section that grows, the section that
Yeah.
grows things. So it's colorful, it's vibrant, it expires rather quickly. You have to put in the energy to make it what you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
um, and then I've also come across, so from there, that was probably my philosophy. I've been really, well, okay, going back, I've been hyper focused on healing my gut over the last year and some change. So
Okay.
even like being so, like studying nutrition in college, still the gut health, that was new to me since like the last year and a half. So now I'm like hyper fixated on like, okay, gut health, gut health, gut health. That because that means a lot. I mean, I won't
Mm.
say everything, but that holds a lot of value. So in doing so, I eliminated a lot of the processed foods. So that goes back to these whole foods. And then from there, after doing that, I was like still kind of talk about plateauing. So what else, where else did I need to kick it up to the next gear? So then thinking about like glucose spikes, and
Mm.
even in you can still find glucose spikes, especially in processed food, but let's say we eliminated that. You can still find them in your fruits and other foods. So then focusing, on your glucose spikes, okay, well, how can you kind of navigate that better? Well, let's talk about food order. So the glucose goddess, for anyone who's unfamiliar with her, are you familiar with the glucose goddess?
No, no, I don't even know about food order. I'm so interested.
Oh, okay. Well, I have this little 4-week reset where you can just be it's a free little 4-week reset, and it has my favorite podcasts that have really impacted the way that I eat.
Okay.
And the glucose goddess is hosted on one podcast that really blew my mind. And so she talks about food order being like you eat your fiber first, because that starts breaking down and creates like
Okay.
this substance that kind of coats your gut, and then you eat your fats and proteins, which is vital in filling you up. So
Mhm.
focusing on, for me, I'm a meat eater.
Me too.
Yeah, I go back and forth between eating chicken and beef. For now, I would love to throw in more fish, but for right now, that's where I'm at economically
Mhm.
and time and such like that. It makes the most sense. And then you finish with your carbs. So she is very big about these eliminating these glucose spikes, which also reduces the crashes, which is something that Courtney talked about in that last podcast. Of That's why she even comes back to reducing carbs, is because if you have a very carby diet, this is what your energy levels are going to look like.
Yeah.
You're going to be like so energized, and then you're going to crash. And that crash especially will come in that late afternoon era, which then you find that you're grazing, and it impacts, sleep and that whole little avenue that we've already talked about. So I can hold there, or I can keep going into this.
No, I love it. Please.
Okay. So once I've learned to navigate the whole foods, the protein, the spikes and such like that, now this is my biggest breakthrough
Okay.
is understanding your stomach acid. So
Okay.
so I watched this video a year or months ago about how the acidity, like cooking with acidity. There's those couple things. I'm not huge into following recipes. I'm big into cooking, but cooking for intention, not
Mm.
like, oh, here's these flavors. So I say all that because I don't remember all the things, but I do remember acid being a vital part of being a part of being a good cook. And
Okay.
that was kind of like in one ear, out the other because it didn't sound logical at the time, but now it does. So your stomach is between 1.5 and 3.5 on a pH scale. So
Okay.
it's
Yep.
acidic because that makes sense. You want to break things down.
Mm.
So when you first eat things, your saliva and your mouth is the first like level of armor.
Digestion, kind of. Yeah.
That's yeah, it's the front line, that's what I was trying to say. It's the front line of breaking things down.
Okay.
And so that's why you also wanna spend more time, that's why your grandma will sit there and tell you to chew more, eat your food, and you're like, "Okay, granny." Like, chew up, don't want your dentures to fall out. So, but there's some value there. Because first line of defense is all that, and then it gets into your stomach. Well, if it's not one fully chewed, and if it's more basic, which you will find in a lot more processed foods, your stomach has to work harder to break down this food.
Wow.
And that's why you'll find in the glucose goddess, she also talks about adding like apple cider vinegar to foods. Now, she says to add it before a meal, which I've done apple cider vinegar before a meal and my stomach starts burning. So, if
Okay.
anyone who's listening, if your stomach starts burning with apple cider vinegar before a meal, this could be wise because you're already adding acid onto an already very acidic situation.
Hmm.
So, I'm not super on board with that philosophy, but I do understand adding lemon juice or apple cider vinegar to a meal to make it more acidic to just aid in keeping it between that optimal 1.5 to 3.5. Now,
Wow. That is such good advice. Like, wow. Blowing my mind.
thank you. I actually just thought through all of that this past weekend. So today's Thursday, that was on Sunday. And I was like so excited about it. I called my parents and I was like yapping their little ears off. And they're like, dang, that's like pretty good. And so I'm like walking around all high and mighty, super excited about it, this idea.
I love it. Hey everyone, Chelsea here. I would love to take a moment to introduce you to our app, Yoga Plus. You will gain access to an incredible collection of videos led by top instructors in yoga, fitness, nutrition, and so much more. Download our Yoga Plus app today and get a free 14-day trial.